are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears. As we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Hello PHS crew, new viewers and subscribers. Today, we are taking a deep dive into innocence loss. We are taking a deep look at 3 true crime cases of evil, sinister, disturbing, and wicked behavior of killer kids. We like to believe that all children are sweet and innocent, that the world hasn't had time to corrupt them. We would like to believe kids are not born evil, but due to most childhood trauma, kids grow into bad people. We tell ourselves that malice requires years of a life of hard knocks, bitterness. But sometimes, becoming a monster doesn't wait for puberty. Today, we're looking at 3 cases where the innocence of youth was nothing more than a mask for something cold, calculated, disturbing, and deeply deadly. These are unfortunately true horror stories. These are the police files of the children who stopped playing with toys and started playing with lives. But before we start, can you please do us a favor? If you're new, can you please click subscribe? We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers before the end of year 2026. It's free. It won't cost you anything. This will help our small channel grow. We would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's start the video. In 2007, the village of Mushahar in India was gripped by a local horror. Infants were vanishing. The first baby to disappear was a 6-month-old girl. Her name was Khushbu. She went missing from a local primary school. The village assumed a stray animal or a kidnapper may have been at work, but they were wrong. The villagers became suspicious of a young 8-year-old boy by the name Amarjeet Sada. When they questioned Amarjeet, unlike most children that would cry or deny being accused under pressure, Amarjeet didn't. With a chilling smile, he led the villagers to a patch of grass, where he showed them. He bashed the infant's head in with a brick and buried her. When the police arrived, Amarjeet didn't ask for his mother. He asked them for a biscuit. Police later discovered Amarjeet had killed his own sister and cousin months prior to killing the girl. At 8 years old, Amarjeet is often cited as the world's youngest serial killer. His only motive? He said, he just liked the feeling of killing. Because Amarjeet was 8, he could not be sentenced to death or life in prison under Indian law. He was placed in a remand home, a secure facility for the temporary detention, care, and observation of juvenile offenders, typically ages 8 through 16, while they await trial or sentencing until he turns 18. Where is Amarjeet now? He was reportedly released in 2016 at the age of 20 and began living under a new identity. The idea that a child serial killer is now an adult walking among the public is truly scary.
Hello, PHS crew. We have a question for you. Do you believe children can be sinister? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. We are dying to know.
This is a well-known and very popular case in British history. In February 1993, 2 10-year-old boys, John Venables and Robert Thompson, skipped school to go to a shopping center in Bootle. That day, the 2 boys weren't there to shoplift. No, they were in the mall searching for prey. They were looking for a child to kill. They ended up coming across a 2-year-old boy by the name of James Bulger. In the CCTV footage that still haunts the UK today, you see the 2 older boys leading James away by the hand. They walked him over 2 miles across the city. Passers-by saw them. Some even intervened. But the boys simply lied, saying James was their little brother, and they were taking him home. They eventually led him to a railway line. What happened there is too graphic for us to describe, but it involved extreme torture and the eventual abandonment of James's body on the tracks. When caught, the boys showed a disturbing lack of remorse, blaming each other with a coldness that shocked the world's leading psychologists. This case changed the UK legal system regarding how children are tried. John and Robert were tried in an adult court, which many argued was a violation of their human rights, while others argued the crime was too adult for a juvenile setting. John and Robert were given new identities upon release. John Venables has since been sent back to prison multiple times for possessing indecent images, sparking a massive national debate about whether evil can truly be rehabilitated. Radiation that still remains and lingers. But yet and still, people's morbid curiosity makes this a popular dark tourist location to visit. But before you pack your bags to explore Chernobyl's radioactive hellscape, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you shouldn't visit this nuclear wasteland. Monday mornings are universally disliked, but for 16-year-old Brenda Spencer, dislike wasn't a strong enough word. On January 29th, 1979, Brenda sat at her window in San Diego, California. She lived directly across from Grover Cleveland Elementary School. For Christmas that year, her father had given her a .22 caliber semi-automatic rifle. As the children waited for the school gates to open, Brenda opened fire on the young kids. She didn't target the bullies or the teachers who gave her bad grades. She shot indiscriminately. She killed the principal and a custodian who were trying to protect the children, and she wounded 8 students and a police officer. While she was barricaded in her house during the standoff, a reporter managed to get her on the phone. They asked her the one question everyone wanted to know: why? Her response became one of the most infamous quotes in true crime history: "I don't like Mondays." These are 3 dark, terrible, and disturbing cases of kids harming and killing kids. But now, let's take a deeper look at the psyche of these children's thought process to want to kill. It's the question that keeps criminologists awake at night. Are these children born with a broken moral compass, or is the compass smashed by the world around them? The argument for nature, the bad seed. Some scientists point towards biology. Research often shows that in children with these traits, the amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear and empathy, is less active. They don't feel the distress of others. This area handles impulse control. In many killer kid cases, this part of the brain is still developing, leading to a deadly mix of no empathy and no impulse control. In many cases, this is the brain's emotional smoke detector. When most of us see someone in pain, our amygdala fires, making us feel a shadow of that distress. But for children like Amarjeet Sada or John Venables, that sensor may have been silent. To them, causing pain isn't cruel. It's just an interesting way to see how the world reacts. It's a hardware issue, not a software one. But on the flip side of the argument, we should also take a look at these children's environments. For instance, Brenda Spencer grew up in a home filled with neglect. and easy access to firearms. Venables and Thompson came from a volatile, broken backgrounds. Psychologists suggest that if a child is never shown empathy, they never learn to mirror it. They become empathy blind. In this theory, society failed them long before they failed society. They weren't born monsters. They were molded into them by a world that didn't care enough to watch the signs. Perhaps the most terrifying truth is that it's usually a bit of both. A biological predisposition met with the perfect storm of environmental neglect. We look at these kids, Amarjeet, Brenda, John, and we see children. We want to see innocence. But these cases prove that the monster under the bed isn't always a myth. Sometimes, the monster is the one tucked into the bed. This will conclude 3 true cases of Killer Kid cases. We hope you enjoyed this dark and morbid deep dive. If you did enjoy it, then please like, share, and comment to let us know. And if you're new, please subscribe. Again, we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year for 2026. Become a part of the PHS crew. And since you made it this far, then why don't you click on the iCard? We have many original horror stories and deep dives you will enjoy. We appreciate and thank you all, and we will see you in our next video.